Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes Report. And you probably can see on screen some numbers. So this also based on another feedback that people really wanted to know the percentage of the areas, the oblast that's captured by the Russian forces, and I actually have this data over here, here, here. Oh my God, here. So no, here. So so we have Luhansk. So I actually have already edited the map previously. So this is Luhansk region. This is the Luhansk region, and in the Luhansk region, the as you probably would know if you have followed the war, uh, almost everything of Luhansk is actually captured by the Russian forces. It's 99.84%. So this percentage are before accounting for all the frontline changes report that we're going to talk about today. In the Donetsk Oblast, around here, this is the Donetsk Oblast, 50.3% has been captured. So the Russian forces most likely over the past, let me check the numbers. Yeah, the Russians have already captured over 50% since the all these since the fall of Voleda eventually effectively. So the strategically not important city of Voleda. No, after all these advances, Russian forces basically get past the 50% mark. So 50% of Donetsk is now captured, and then in Zaporizhia, 64.73%. This is Zaporizhia. So this area here is Zaporizhia. So Zaporizhia is 70, basically more, 64.79%. And Kherson is the smallest with 33.72% of it captured by the Russian forces. So, but so there is still a big chunk, but although it doesn't look like the part, I'm not sure. So so just want to put some caveat. The captured is basically based on this area that we have put in. However, the total size of Kursk of the oblast is actually based on official numbers, which I can find on Wikipedia. So so the two may not match as well. This is just a very rough gauge, just for entertainment purposes. No, so are you entertained? So anyway, I got to hide this since it's not important anymore. So we have a lot of frontline changes today, as you can see from the whole column of locations all across, and so uh, yeah, I'm gonna leave it on for now. I think maybe some guys of you might actually like it. If you don't like, you want it, just comment below. Let me know because this is a totally new format, and there is frontline changes. A lot of it. We have frontline changes over in Darino. So this is for the past 2.5 days of action. Darino, Porovsky, Novo Ivanovka. So it should zoom in a bit. So northern flank, we have a lot. Marevka, Plakovo, we have updates on Plakovo. Peshtrevneve over in the Svatove front. Terny in the Kremina front. Torske over in the New York front. Nelipivka. Novohrodivka, the Pokrovsk front. Petrivka, Yurievka. Novoselidivka as we enter into the Donetsk front. Bohov-Yevlenka, Korakove. Yeah, maybe this is the wrong location. Yeah, I should put it below. Dalne, Antonivka, Bohov-Yevlenka, Novodarivka, and Rifnopil. So these are the whole list of frontline changes as my voice transforming. Okay, so we go into the frontline change over in the Kursk front. So Russian forces basically have been geolocated and entered into Darino, and this actually caused huge invalidation of Ukrainian claims as the Russians enter into Darino. The Darino is still not captured yet. Russian forces are still progressing in that area. Let me zoom in a bit more so that I can draw bigger arrows. Okay, never mind, because I want to talk about Porovsky as well. So let me go back to the O1. Yeah, so and then there and over at Porovsky, the Ukrainian mapping have given up, claiming that Porovsky is under Ukrainian control. So that also leads to Russian captures in this area here. So so this is the thing. The total length of change at Darino from the previous front line all the way to the furthest one now is around 3.4 kilometers in distance. So that's quite a bit of advance in this area here. And you can see the total area is 6.32 square kilometers. Podolsky is around 3.13 square kilometers. So over in the further up north, over at Novo Ivanovka, Russian forces geolocated in the southeastern outskirts of Novo Ivanovka, which means that the Russian forces basically overrun the town by quite a bit. Of course, there's also always the possibility that the Russians just come from the other side, from Zelenishak, but I think not. At least tentatively, I think it's going through this way. So the distance of the advance may actually be around 1.7 kilometers. So there's the frontline change in the Novo Ivanovka region with 2.32 square kilometers captured. Northern flank after the two geolocation that was geolocated yesterday, the day previously. So that leads me to make a judgment call, and I believe that the Russian forces have basically retaken everything in this northern flank of the Kursk front. So this leads to massive amount of capture. The Russian mapping also mapped it that they have taken the north and northeast and the eastern part of Marievka, but they did not fully acknowledge the part where I have mapped it. So there is of course a discrepancy between DPS mapping and Rybus mapping, but it doesn't matter. So this is the full capture. The total area is massive. The total area is 35.26 square kilometers. This is a huge change. Of course, this is based on the judgment call from myself. So, which I think most likely is correct. We haven't seen Ukrainian actions or operations around this northern sector for a long time. In fact, if you ask me, I feel like the Russian forces may actually have taken everything of this area as well. I believe the Russians have already taken off this area. We're just waiting for more, confirmation and validation to this kind of action. So that's all from this area. The total this top to bottom is 7 kilometers, around 7 kilometers. So it's huge amount of grounds, a lot of advance. And then we go to the southern flank of the Kursk front, where we have geolocation of Russian forces. And in the latest information, latest geolocation, Russian forces have been geolocated on the western part of Plekovo. Can you imagine that? So they are geolocated around here, and this is interesting because that will put into question how do you map this. So I based it on the last geolocation of the Russian forces, and I believe that this is where they come down to this point. Basically a flanking operation and hitting the rear from the north. So, which means that Russian forces have made a oil rig around here. This look like an oil rig, but anyway, so this is a massive capture by the Russian forces as they take all of these grounds, because these geolocations basically validates all Russian claims previously. Of course, all these areas in the east of Plekovo is unsure. The total captured grounds around here is massive as well, 16.7 square kilometers. The previous chunk itself is already 30.9. This new one is 2.19 square kilometers. The distance between the two geolocations is 3.81 kilometers. So for the Americans, sorry, I don't play mouse. You should come to the site, where normal people use use the measurement that normal people use. So anyway, yeah, that's what it is. And then we move on from the Kursk front. The next front line change is over at Petrov-Trevneve, over at the Svatove front. So in this area here, Russian forces expanded their control around Petrov-Trevneve, and they are on the verge of full capture of the settlement. Total area captured is 1.22 square kilometers, so not a big thing, but the fighting is already moving towards Kopanki already, which was reported as well by the Russian Defense Ministry of fighting at Kopanki. Let me clear my throat. My throat is a bit weird. Okay, better, slightly better. So after Kopanki, the next front line change after Pashov-Trnava, next is at Terny, as the Russians continue to make small advances in Terny region. So this one is around 0.19 square kilometers in area. The distance captured is very small. It's only around 400 meters, which is actually still quite far, but in a very contested space. So this the small frontline change over in Terny. So after Terny, the next frontline change, we jump all the way to the New York front. So over at the New York front, we have frontline changes over in Torex with the Ukrainian mapping map that the Russian forces have captured grounds towards the industrial plant in this area here. The distance of the advance is around 300 meters. So that's what it is. Over at Nelipivka, the Ukrainian mapping have given up claims over the entire southern part of Nelipivka, with the Russian forces advancing, taking all of the southern part of Nelipivka. The distance advance is around 500 meters, 600 meters. The total front line along this area is around 1.1 kilometers. So this is the area that is captured over in Nelipivka. And we move on over in the Pokrovsk front. One of the latest information, geolocation of Ukrainian forces in an assault. But of course, this Ukrainian presence also means Russian in presence. So this can actually cause frontline changes. The advance is very small. It's around only 100-200 meters. So this is a small area change, around 0.11. And this is the only area in the entire Ukraine war that the Ukrainians have captured grounds in the DPA's mapping. Yeah, I not sure why my throat just went super dry, and so 100, surely I'm not fully recovered. And then we go into the west of Selidove. So the west of Selidove, Russian forces advanced in two different areas, in Petrivka and around Novo-Oleksievka. So in the area of Petrivka, Russian forces have captured the entire western part of Petrivka. So this advance happened. The total advance from the previous furthest point all the way to the current point is around almost 400 meters, 360 meters. And so that's this area around here. Petrivka is 0.36 square kilometers, not very big. Around Novo-Oleksievka, the Russian forces have advanced towards Yurivka as they almost entered it. And also they have advanced in the south of Novo-Oleksievka, fully securing the southern flank. The total the height, the total area of the front line is 3 kilometers. Total height, from top to bottom, from north to south, is around 3 kilometers. The total area, you can see it for yourself, it's around 2.99 square kilometers. And then we go, actually I'm not sure if I even have covered, because I might draw in this side and I didn't know. You let me know, because I didn't take notice. So over in Novoselidivka, the Russian forces have been geolocated, confirming Russian advance in Novoselidivka. The total distance traveled is 1.7 kilometers. So that is some advance around there. Not a very big area. I think I should skip all the small ones in terms of the area size. At Kurakove and Dalny, there are some massive changes. At Kurakove itself, Russian forces geolocated inside Kurakove, and this advance is pretty surprising to me. The distance along the geolocation to the end of the road is around 0.44 kilometers, where the previous front line was. So that's what happened in Kurakove. South of Kurakove, Russian forces geolocated in Dalny, and the Russian forces basically have advanced greatly in a very, very straight, pretty straight line towards Dalny. And in the rear positions, there is also Russian claims, as well as some validation from the Ukrainian side of Russian forces advancing across the entire front line, capturing a lot of grounds around here. The total distance from the geolocation to the previous closest front line is around 3.69 kilometers. So there is a lot of advancement. And so this entire area here is pretty big. Dalny itself, this area that I'm talking about right now, is around 6.61 square kilometers captured by the Russian forces. So and then we move away from Dalny, And we go to the north of Konstantinivka. The Russian forces also advanced in the north of Konstantinivka with captured grounds captured in this area here in the north of Konstantinivka. And this the area, the furthest from this point all the way to this point is around 1 kilometer. So the total front line is around almost 3 kilometers in distance. In the east of Bohov-Yevlenka, the Russian forces straightened the front line, according to Russian claims, and the total length of the front line is around 3 kilometers as well. So this is actually quite a distance that was captured by the Russian forces, and then on the northwest of Bohov-Yevlenka, Russian forces, according to Ukrainian mapping, have also straightened the front line around here. The total area between the two areas that is captured around Bohov-Yevlenka sums up to 3 kilometers, 3.19 square kilometers. So these areas here alone is 3.19 square kilometers. Pretty big. And we move away from Bohov-Yevlenka and we go to the Velika Novosilka sector. And in this sector here, Russian forces advance in two different areas. One area is Rivnopil, with Russian forces basically on the verge of full capture of Rivnopil suddenly. This is all happens within the day, very, very sudden advance. And the Russians also launched another offensive around Novodarivka, almost entering into Novodarivka. And the distance traveled is 3 kilometers. In the Novodarivka, the distance captured is 1.7 kilometers. And so the total area that was affected, the front line affected, is almost 8 kilometers in length. And there is also talk about Russian forces attacking at Makarivka as well. So we might see more frontline changes. We might see Makarivka falling in reporting in the next 24-48 hours. We shall see how this goes. Total area in this sector that is captured is 13 square kilometers captured within 24 hours. So this is a massive change of the front line. So this is the total frontline changes report, and I didn't put in the full total area captured because some people say that they like the calculator part the best. So I'm going to count the total Russian capture. The Ukrainian capture is very straightforward. It's 0.11 because there's only one Ukrainian capture. So total capture, we have Darino, and then Porovsky, and Novo Ivanovka, the northern flank, the Blakovo. So it's already 63.73 square kilometers. And then Peshov-Trefneve, Terny, Toretsk, Nelipivka, Petrivka, and then Novo-Oleksievka, and then in the Donetsk front, Novoselidivka, Kurakove, Dalny, and then Antonivka, Bohov-Yevlenka, and then Rivnopil in the Velika Novosilka sector, and Novodarivka. Did I count correctly? This looks really big. Am I correct? This 122 might be wrong. It's 1.22. I missed the point. Minus 122 plus 1.22. Yeah. Just check my work. No. So if you are still studying, remember to always check your work. Before you submit your paper in your exams. So total capture is 97.83 square kilometers captured by the Russian forces, and even if you minus the 0.11 by the Ukrainians, there is still a total sum of 97.72 square kilometers captured over the past 2.5 days by the Russian forces. So anyway, thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe. Let me know what you think as we continue to shape this new version of the Frontline Changes report. Hopefully this is interesting to you. It does make the video longer, but I'll see you guys in the next update.